guys. Thank you, Teresa. I love apples and I love our voila and I love simples. So thank you for doing that. I mean, really, short notice. I mean, that was great. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks
Um,
to Pinterest.
and I get that. I get that. So, spices, guys, if you want to spice up your marriage, seriously, add some spices to your food. You know your spouse loves to eat, right? And I will share with you that Steve, he always shares this how he he tried to eat healthy, so he'd always eat healthy foods, and it was really boring and bland. And then he met me, and I don't cook gourmet meals or anything like that. I cook pretty simple, pretty wholesome meals, but I do add spices, so it makes a world of difference. All right. So yeah, so you thought spices were just, for food, but really you could spice up your your love life. Anyway, just we gotta have some fun, guys. All right, so our spice containers are the bomb, okay? And our spice carousel, if you don't have it, you need to get it, okay? I wish I should have raised this up, but I'm sorry, my table's a little too short and I can't get the monitor closer. So anyway, but my favorite thing to do about the spice shaker carousel is to spin it. And I wish I could be in my kitchen right now, but I can't. But I have this one little cupboard, and maybe you have one too. It's the one for me. It's by the oven and it's by the sink, but it's a mini one. It's not like a full blown cabinet. All right, so it's pretty small. Okay, and there's not a lot of space between. I mean, I can adjust the shelves and stuff, but I can fit this in there. Okay. And I don't have just one spice shaker carousel. I have three in my home. Okay. Well, one's in my mommy's house because we built onto her, because that's why I love my Tupperware business. And I'm so grateful that I have this business because it has carried me through all the different life moments that I have. Okay. And right now it's where I get to be caretaker for my mommy. And so we added on for her. So I was really tired of getting my steps in because I have to go from her little kitchenette area all the way down to my kitchen and go all the way to her. And I always forget something. So I said, forget this. I just got another spice carousel set and have one at my mom's. Okay. But I kind of have one for baking and one for my cooking spices. You can organize these any way you want. We have two different sizes. We've got the small, which is your 4 ounce pretty much. And then you have your large, okay, which is your 8 ounce, okay? No matter which size you get, those little caps right here, okay, they have two sides. One is what I call the sprinkle side, your thinner, like your garlic powders and cinnamon and nutmeg and that kind of stuff. Before your more of your herbs, you're gonna want to use the pour opening, okay? And right here, so if Teresa needed to level off that teaspoon, your Tupperware measuring teaspoon fits perfectly down inside here, and you can level it off for all of you precise bakers out there, okay? So love that feature about these spice shakers. And if you need a tablespoon, that's okay. Who knows how many teaspoons go in a tablespoon? Anybody? Type it in the chat there. Who knows? Jenny, you're cheating. Three teaspoons. Awesome, Joanne. Yay, Teresa, Robin. Yes, 3 teaspoons. So if you can't get your tablespoon in there, don't fret. You got a teaspoon in there, okay? So you get three of those. I highly recommend. The sides are a little bit frosted, which is fine, so that the light doesn't get through. Because you don't want the light to get through your spices. But you have a clear panel here, so you can quickly see. Oh my goodness. I got to put onion powder on my list. It's a little bit empty right now. Okay. So you can quickly spin this around, make your shopping list at a glance. And I highly recommend, I don't know, get yourself either a label maker. So when I first started with my spice shakers, I have a label maker that I use. So I would just make my labels. And now you can get cute little pre-printed, much prettier fonts and all that. You probably go to Amazon and look up spice labels, okay? And they have pre-printed ones, and they just stick them on there, okay? So I love you know why you do this, right? Y'all know my story, right? When I used to take Mateo to school in the morning, and I'd make him oatmeal, and I would sprinkle. I'm not really a morning person, and I was sprinkling what I thought was the cinnamon. Okay. And I'm sprinkling it on there, and he's like, Mom. I'm like, what? And he's like, that's not cinnamon. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, no, that's chipotle. All right. So yeah, that was the one time he got treated to McDonald's. Anyway, so I highly recommend you label your spices and look at it. Now, I kind of like have I'm like an organized freak, okay, because I know where my spices are. Now, if you move my spices, you might get something that wasn't cinnamon, okay? Because my nutmeg and cinnamon are right on top of each other right here, okay? That's how bad I am. And the other thing I do is my label and my sprinkle sprout are on the same side. So I know that when I open the side with the label, that's the sprinkle side, okay? Again, you flip my label, my spice shaker top around, we might have to redo that recipe. So love. Now, your little spice shakers that you buy, those little half ounces, whatever, and they are these beautiful glass spice shakers, and you're probably paying more for that jar that you're going to throw away. Did you know once you crack open that seal, your spices can stay fresh 3 to 6 months in your Tupperware spice shaker containers? You can put them in here for over a year. Okay, now if you take your spices and you rub them, and it doesn't have the aroma, your spices are probably too old. Okay, how many of you guys have been married more than 10 years and you still have that same spice jar from 10 years ago? You might want to check it out. Okay, the other thing is these spice shakers keep things contained. Now, spices come from nature, there are plants, they're so you might have little bugs in there, okay? And you can't see them. They kind of blend into the spice. And if you ever wanted to test your spices, you take your three red spices like paprika, cayenne pepper, chili pepper, and you put a little teaspoon on a white sheet of paper, one in each corner, and draw a circle around it. And you leave it on your countertop overnight. And if you have cats like Teresa, you might not want to have them. They might go up there and check it out. So make sure there's no animals, pets around, whatever. Put it out there for 24 hours. And if those little spices have moved outside of the circle, you might want to throw those out too. Okay, they look just like the red spices. Okay, I'm not trying to freak you out. And if you don't want to know, just don't do it, and it no harm done. Okay. Um. Anyway, so spices are really really healthy for you. I'm going to share my screen. Now, by the way, yes, they're for spices, okay? But there are some other things you can do with them. In my one of my spice containers and in the other carousel, I don't know about you, but this little cover right here reminds me of a Band-Aid. And I don't know about you, but usually I am slicing myself. Well, I don't want to say slicing, nicking or cutting my fingers somewhere, somehow on some type of a blade. And here I am with blood. And then I have to get all the way to the bathroom and there's a trail and blah, blah, blah. And the Band-Aid box, Band-Aids are great, but their boxes stink. So put your Band-Aids right there in your spice carousel set. So when you do cut yourself, you got your spice, your Band-Aids right there, okay? In a box, it's not gonna break over and all over the place. The other thing is, these are also nice for crayons, believe it or not. Grab a couple extra ones. If you've got little ones and you're taking them to church or in a car ride, whatever, you need something for them to do. Crayons are perfect in here. Again, the Crayolas are amazing, but their boxes kind of get torn up and then you have crayons everywhere, okay? Second thing is if you do carry these around, crayons in here, and you happen to leave them in the car where it's sunny, if they melt, they're going to melt in here. Don't know how I know that. Anyway, so fun stuff like that. And baby powder, baby powder. Now, please label it and leave it in a totally separate place. If you got little ones and you need some baby powder, you know that baby powder box, whatever it is, box, container, whatever. It's like you touch it and it's just flying all over the place because it's powder. This isn't going to give you that flexibility, so you won't have to give yourself a little baby powder bath either. Okay, little extra things you can do with spice shakers. Now, I am going to share my screen really quick because I got to share with you. Spices are probably one of the most expensive items in your pantry. You need to replace these spices, and you bought them full price at the grocery store, and those cute little bottles that you threw away, you're going to be paying a lot of money. I did do this chart last year, but it doesn't matter what the numbers are. What matters is the difference. All right. You guys all see my spice chart up here? Just give me a nod. Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. All right. And of course I will share this. So I did a comparison between the bulk food store. Now I'm blessed. I live near an Amish community. They have their salvage stores. They've got their spices in these cute little round plastic containers. They're not going to stay very fresh in there. I've got to get them out of there. But their prices can't be beat. You can also find bulk spices online and other places. Okay, and let's just go with the 4 ounce container. That would be the small ones. Okay, let's just say I wanted to fill up this spice rack that I have here. I have 8 small ones and 8 large ones. That's what you can fit on the carousel. Okay. You could double up the small ones and double it up so you can get even more spices out there. Okay, really you can mix and match these any way you want, but basically 8 large ones, 8 small ones. And if I just take some basic spices, I'm not talking about crazy spices that you're going to use once or twice. I'm talking about some standard spices here: allspice, cayenne pepper, celery salt, some cumin, some ginger, some nutmeg, rosemary, thyme, those kinds of things. Black pepper, basil, chili powder, cinnamon, cloves, red crushed pepper, oregano, paprika. Okay, those are the spices that I have. All right. And you can see at the bottom right here some big differences. All right. We've got a huge markup. You thought jewelry, you thought gold was bad. Spices are worse. Okay. If I fill, oh my goodness, what is going on? Go away, these AI people. They always want to try to do something for you. Now, what was I doing here? So if I did this in my using bulk prices, it would cost me $64 to fill up the spice rack. If I do it at a grocery store, um, $519. Okay. So I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go for those for those bulk spices. Okay. So this is a great chart to have on hand to share with your customers. Okay. Let's help them save money and keep their spices fresher longer. The other thing I love to do, and in my spice rack right now, oh my goodness, last week was like his Mexican week. We were doing Southwest burrito breakfast. We did chicken tacos. I mean, we were doing it all. We doing bowls, and my chipotle spice shaker is on low. Again, you want to save money and you want to know. Let me pull up my, here we go. Your do-it-yourself spice blends, okay? I love making my own spice blends because I know what I'm putting in there, okay? I am not putting, oops, I'm not putting fillers in here. I'm just using whole spices. I'm not putting a lot of extra sodium in here. Some of them do have salt, that's fine, okay? But you get to control this, all right? I'm not putting preservatives or any of that stuff in there. It is just my own, well, not mine, spice blends, okay? One of my favorites is the Chipotle one. Okay. I make it in bulk and I just love, love, love it. All right. If you don't want the salt, you can cut back on the salt. So you can modify this to make it your style. Okay. The blackening seasoning. I love taking some, I'm in a hurry and I don't have time. Like, Teresa said, I got to do something quick, real fast. The Micro Grill, some blackening seasoning and some chicken, sprinkle it on there. 6 minutes, I've got some chicken on the table. I can do chicken salad, chicken tacos, whatever I want with it. Okay. Another favorite, of course, is this time of year is your pumpkin spice. Okay. And then this one stays on hand all the time, the Italian herb. Okay. So these are some of my favorites. You can find your own. These are great little memes. I'll post all this stuff out there. And the other thing is, I wanted to share with you all is spices have lots of health benefits. They can help you with digestion, they can help you with your immune system, your blood sugar, inflammation, heart health, stress, bone health, all of that from spices. So not only do they kick up your dinner meals, your lunch meals, your meals a notch, okay? They're also going to help you stay healthy too. All right. One of my favorites was I was doing some research and found out about cinnamon is they had done a research on a week of diabetics, and they were giving them each a piece of apple pie every day. At the end of the week, they were measuring their blood sugar, and they wanted to see what effect all the sugar had on them. And what happened was their blood sugar stayed fine because of the cinnamon, okay, in the applesauce. I mean, in the apple pie, okay? So cinnamon is great for controlling your blood sugar levels and all that. And there's so many other benefits out there. I couldn't possibly name them all. But guys, these are lifesavers. They are going to save you money, okay? They're going to keep your spices fresh, and maybe they'll even keep your love life going. All right, guys, have fun with those spices. And hey, right now they're on sale. They're $32 off the entire 17-piece set, all 8 spices and large, small, and your carousel. Have fun with that, guys. Let's spice it up.